Oh, hey everybody. All my Venus retrograde interested question seekers is AstroDee. Love and relationships, that's my specialty. And I love throwing some flavor and simplicity onto talking about astrology. I hope you are doing very well. Today I'm here to finally talk about this Venus retrograde. I gotta admit, y'all, this has not been very easy to get on here and do any kind of videos. I'm not. I mean, you got to really pay me a lot of money to feel crappy and try to do a video. But, you know, relationships and synergy, that's my specialty. So I could not. I had to pull. If I had to pull to get to this camera and set up something, I had to come and talk about what's going to be going down for this Venus retrograde here. So regardless, you know, this Venus retrograde, you know, I've been dreaming, having lots of dreams about my ex, but I have built a very strong fortress that they cannot find me, okay? But like I said, it is leaking and creeping in my dreams and all that stuff. So I could imagine, please let me know in the comments, right, what this Venus retrograde has been like for you. How are you reconnecting to yourself, right? And that's the key here. It's really, you know, we think it's about the other person, but it's really just about ourselves at the end of the day. So today's video, this video is going to be about tips and tricks getting through the Venus retrograde. All right. There are so many different interpretations on how to handle Venus retrogrades, and I don't want to scare anybody or make anybody paranoid. You know, when Mars was retrograde, there are certain tips and rules, but you better live your life and you got to do what you got to do. So like I said, if Mars is in retrograde and it says don't buy a car during Mars retrogrades, but you need a car, get a damn car. What are you doing? Okay. So today, you know, let's use our common sense. But with Venus retrograde, there's certain tips and rules and different regulations, and you decide how you want to conduct yourself during this retrograde. So this is the tip portion of the video, and then the next video I put out, I'm going to go through all the houses and signs. So anytime there's a Venus retrograde, we can all understand how we can navigate depending on where it is in our chart. But for this video, let's talk about this Venus in Scorpio retrograde, and let's go into Libra. So October the 5th, Venus went retrograde. It goes even further back on the 30th. It's going to go into Libra. So you Libras are going to be feeling it, Libra ascendants. And then going forward on November the 16th, officially fully out of the clear, December the 17th. God, I can't wait till this year is over. I truly can't. This has been a very, very hard year, 2018. From literally beginning to end, from January to 2018 is a very, very hard year for me. But, you know, literally a lot of tough transits end in December for me. So I'm just like, oh, thank God. New year 2019, please, Jupiter and Sagittarius, thank you. All right. So Venus is kind of rough in Scorpio. Venus is like, you know, it gets really secretive. It gets wrathful. It gets vengeful. This is the lower vibrations of Venus in Scorpio. It's wrathful. It's vengeful. It's occult. It's secrets. It's spells, right? It's possessions, possessiveness, obsessive lover, manipulative lovers, you know, Venus in Scorpio. Now, the higher octave, the higher vibrations of Venus in Scorpio is deep commitment, unscathing loyalty, right? Deep bonding for life, healing love, destruction of what is no longer useful to revive you. You know, that kind of love to change your life, Venus in Scorpio. And yes, I truly believe this is a kind of life-changing love, Scorpio. I think this is a resetting of love, because Scorpio is about cleansing. You know, it's about cleansing what is no good, a detox, a real good. So if you're looking for a real good love detox, let's check it out this month. I think everything, all the nasty stuff is going to come to the surface. I had said this in another video, but you know, if you were abused, if someone was manipulating you, someone had a hold on you, a possessive hold on you. This is the Venus to really, this Venus retrograde is really going to clear it out, or it's really going to help you reevaluate. Do you really need to be sweating this person? How is this hold? Is this person as powerful as you're making it? Is this situation as powerful as you've made it to be? Truly? Or did you downplay something, or did you hurt someone? And now it's the time of, I guess, repentance, or the time of where, you know, it comes back to you. It really comes back to you. So you can replay it, or it can be replayed. So lovers that come back to you, as they say when Venus in retrograde, the lovers are going to come back to you. Lovers do come back. Now, should you get with them or should you not get with them? That's on you. Now, most of the time, I don't think you should. I think that that lover is coming back to you just so that you can really reevaluate where you went wrong, bring the closure for them or for yourself, or just for the energy of the relationship to just end. There could be a new chapter that's trying to come on, but you guys have to totally cut the cord. I always talk about ethereal cords, cutting the bond with someone. When you sleep with the person, I don't care how insignificant that person is to you, you have connected and bonded to them spiritually. And it is not easy to cut the spiritual cords that you have to that person. Your joys they feel, your sadnesses they feel. It's a cord of energy connecting to each other, right? So this is where those cords could possibly be seen, right? You ever heard, you know, sometimes lovers will put roots on you. If somebody was doing some type of spell or magical stuff and you received it, believed it, and took it on, this is the time to unloose yourself from that stuff. Really let it go. Like I said, I mean, I've had freaking exes come in my dreams and stuff, and I'm too through with it. I'm like, oh no. And I think after a while, you know, when you're trying to move on in your life and you constantly keep seeing that, it's not you, it's the other person. Because I definitely, you know, but were you in a bad relationship? Because those wounds could possibly come up from negative past relationships. Because this is about, anytime Venus is there, this is about a reconstruction, reevaluating this, right? So maybe we have been dating someone. Venus comes retrograde. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're exactly what I want. I'm reevaluating what gives me pleasure. Maybe I don't think I like this anymore. This is why they say breakups could occur in Venus retrograde, because people are reevaluating what works for them. Or you could be hanging out with somebody, depending on where Venus retrogrades. If you could be hanging out with somebody and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Jack, you're more attractive than I actually thought you were. And next thing you know, you and Jack are dating. You guys have been homies and now you guys are dating, and you're realizing, oh my God, Jack, you're actually like the ish, and you're good in bed, Jack. Oh my God, Jack, we should have been hooked up. And then maybe by the end of the Venus retrograde, like, oh my God, I can't believe what we were thinking. Why did we hook up? Why did we try to be together? And you and Jack's life just changed in those couple months that Venus was retrograde, that you guys tried to be in a relationship together. It does happen. It happened to me. It absolutely does happen. So also with this Venus retrograde, we're going back over some things that we feel people did to us that were no good, you know, especially in the occult world, especially in the, you know, a lot of spiritual stuff, warfare going on. I think it's going to be interesting for this Halloween, you know, where they say the veil during Halloween, October 13th through the 24th. They say that, you know, the veil is at its thinnest. All right, and then you have the spirits coming out and all that stuff. And you know, we had this thing literally like 3 days after Venus was in Scorpio. I thought it was so interesting how Beyonce's drummer came out and started to talk about how Beyonce was doing occult rituals on her and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not here to, you know, say whether Kim Thompson was right or wrong, but I will say that story hit me in a close place, because I had auditioned to be her drummer as well. I'm also a drummer. I'm an actress. I'm a drummer. I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 7 years old. Again, I have been behind a camera, talking behind a camera since I was 7 years old. But you know, fast forward to that time, I was on that line. I wanted to be that drummer. And you know, we hung out a couple times. I spoke to her. This is not a loony, crazy lady. This woman is very highly intelligent. And from what I believe, a lot of planets in Aries. Right now, people, if you got a lot of planets in Aries right now, it is a tough time for you. It is really tough. You are feeling the nasty burdens of Saturn, especially if you have early degree Aries around 3 to 4, 5, 6. If you have up to 6 degrees, you're going to be feeling this shit until the year comes on. All right. And that's Mercury, Sun, Moon in Aries. Mercury in Aries. I love you. Okay. It's also Aries. And I believe there's another sign too that's feeling the opposition. I think it might be Libra. I gotta double check that. Could be Libra. So yes, I wanted that position. So watching it, it's like, oh my goodness. You have to be very, very careful. Like I said, I'm not here to accuse Beyonce, and I'm not here to stand over Kim. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to talk about how these things will keep coming to the surface for a lot of people with Venus being in Scorpio. All right, whatever kind of spiritual things you were mixing into sex, it will come up. The manifestations of it will be seen. You know, tantric sex, people, I mean, there's so many ways that you can use sex as spirituality. Even the ability to withhold it for a certain amount of time and generate it within your body is a lot of power here, right? So being able to use that energy, maybe a lot of people will be learning about that and understanding that. Learning about the occult, new revelations about the occult coming up, revelations, a reveal, you know, that comes about during this. So we go over what didn't work and why it didn't work. Also, this isn't just lovers from the past. This could be a lover from your past life. Sometimes a lover doesn't even necessarily have to be your old lover. They can just remind you of the lover that you used to date. And it's the same issue. If you don't learn those lessons, they come right back. Now, and it's so true, it happens, you know, there was something I kept doing in the relationship sector. I kept doing it. You know, I kept doing it. And it recently came back again a couple months ago. And I stood up for him. I just said, no, no more. Break this chain. This is about breaking patterns, right? Breaking old, repetitive patterns in love, okay? So in some cases, like I said, it's good to go back. It is cool to go back. If it was sincerely a misunderstanding that you guys just really didn't, you know, this, or I had to move to Germany, you had to move to England, we couldn't be together, and now you guys come back together, then oh my God, good for you. You know, I wish you guys the best for those who can reconnect with their past loves and flames. And it's a good thing. It's not always a bitter, terrible thing if you reconnect with a past lover. You know, if misunderstandings could occur. But you know in your heart, you truly know whether you should go back to a lover that has abused you or hurt you in some way. Things may appear one way when it's not. You might meet somebody, meeting new people, brand new people during a new Venus retrograde. Please pay attention. I'm not saying that this person is terrible, but I'm saying that you want to, before you go forward in being with that person, you truly want to make sure that they are what they say they are. All right. So the thing is, people say, oh, you know, Venus is in retrograde, so that means everybody's ex is coming back. No, not necessarily. You have to understand where Venus is in your chart. So understand first your ascendant. Get your chart calculated. If you, or, you know, you could hit me up. I'll do your chart. You can get it done for free. But if you really, on that lazy tip, it's no problem. I'll do the chart for you. You can book a reading and I do all that. But the thing is, you have to understand where Venus is at in your chart before you can understand how it's going to work. So if you really want to talk about love, those are for people with Venus in their 7th house and Venus in their 5th house. And 8th as well. 8th house will bring up maybe people that you used to sleep with. Okay. 7th house, Venus transit in your 7th house, people that you were in committed relationships with, partnerships with. Venus in your 5th house, maybe people that you used to date for having a good time, right? These are the type of things that will come up with love. So, you know, Venus in the 1st house, how are you dressing? Maybe it's time that there was a style that you thought was real cool in the 90s. And maybe you feel like you want to bring it back. Maybe you feel like you want to bring it back. So Venus is in your 1st house, you know, and you're styling and profiling. Okay. So I'm going to do, so like I said, it also depends on where Venus is as to what is coming back. Where is the love focus in your life, is what house it's in. So let me make sure I got my tips. So dues, Venus in retrograde, do reconsider how you love things, people, places, do reconsider where you find pleasure in life. Do reconsider what gifts you have and what value that you bring into your life. Revamp the things that you find beautiful in your house to make them more beautiful. Even, you know, try new things. Don't be afraid to try anything new. I think that's kind of crazy. It's like when you declare something new is different than trying anything new. So to me, me putting on a short wig, okay, it's me trying out a different style. But me having long hair and cutting my hair short is declaring something. And that is said to be a no-no during retrogrades. When retrograde planets are squaring, you know, we tend to feel very, very different about things once the planets go forward. I bought things during retrogrades. I'm like, what was I thinking? I was going through a weird phase. So anyway, so I'm basically don't do. Like I said, don't start a brand new relationship with someone new. Of course, date some people new, date new people any time of the year, but establishing a relationship with this person, a committed personal relationship, I don't know, be really careful, let it go forward. If they're for you, it doesn't matter when Venus is forward or not, you guys are going to be together. They say don't get married during a retrograde. I don't know about that one. I think you could still get married when Venus is retrograde, but any Venus thing that I want to do, I would love to do it when Venus has at its full capacity, when it's totally normal, right? Plan for a really special party. You could do it during a retrograde, you know, you could do it during a retrograde. It just, like I said, depends on where it is. Venus is retrograde in your 11th house. Maybe do a theme that you wanted to do for a long time, or a theme that you already did. Throw a party at, and even it's real simple. If you want to throw a party, throw it at somebody's house you already threw a party at versus your own house. My first time. I'm going to throw a party at my house for the first time. Venus is retrograding in my 4th house. You're going to have ugly decorations. Nobody's going to like your party. So, I wouldn't recommend, if Venus, depending on Venus is, you know, I wouldn't recommend cutting your hair if Venus is retrograde in your 1st house. I wouldn't recommend dyeing it some crazy color. But do you. I'm not stopping you. You know, my recommendations are my recommendations. You know, it's just me. It's coming with it. So I'm debating if I want to do, I have it in a separate video. So I was thinking I could just do it, but no, I wanted to put out a very quick short video today because, like I said, it took all of my everything to put out a video, period. But it is my year anniversary, my astrological year that I have been AstroDee. AstroDee was born, and my mother was like right in the next room rooting me on, and she still is. So I have to continue making my videos and trying to make people laugh, doing the best I can. So if you enjoyed this reading, make sure you leave a comment. Tell me how this retrograde is going for you. And also like, share, and subscribe to my page if you have not already. Also on Instagram at AstroDee5. DEE stars 5. Take care.